Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to my June TBR, not TBR. I'm bringing the not TBR back because the last couple of TBR videos that I've done, I have not read them, and I've just become a big series reader, and I will just continuously read one after the other in a series until I get bored of it. But I am trying to mix it up a little bit in June, so I feel like I'm in a bit of a romance kick. I'm enjoying a lot of romance just now, so I thought summer's coming, it's going to be June, which is the sign of summer, so let's knock off a heap of romances that have been sitting on my shelves for quite some time, and let's just delve into them. So I'm just going to show you guys my June TBR, not TBR, and hopefully I will read some of these, because it would be a bit disappointing if I didn't. But let's just start off. These are in no particular order, but I would like to read Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. I loved The Love Hypothesis and oh my goodness, I cannot remember the other one. Who Am I? You know the other one that I'm talking about. Oh, I can't even see it on my shelf. I don't even know where it is. But yes, I loved those two a lot, and I've heard really good things about this one. I believe this is just like a novella collection though. Novella collection. So this one includes Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. So I've heard mixed things. I've heard that some of the novellas are really good and then others are a bit lacking, and then I've heard some people say that they absolutely love them all. So I am gonna get this read hopefully, because it'll be a nice quick read. There'll probably be a tiny little bit of smut in it, hopefully, fingers crossed, which is always good. So this is a nice summer read, I would think. And then next up, I've got The Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Danan. Not sure how you pronounce it. I read The Roommate, which is the first in this series. Absolutely loved it. The smut level was particularly great. So I am hoping for great things for this. I have heard a lot of people say that they enjoyed this one, and I felt like The Roommate was a really quick read. There's nothing better than sitting outside in the sun, in the garden, reading a little steamy romance whilst you're getting a nice tan. There just isn't. So this is hopefully going to be read. It's under 300 pages. It's quite doable. I am spending a lot of time at the weekend reading about 200 odd pages per day, just in like short little 2-hour sittings and things. So this is very doable. I could do this in one sitting if I really put my mind to it. Then this one has been floating about my TBR, not TBR for ages, because I read the first one, absolutely loved it, and then just didn't get on to the next one. So I've got Hook, Line and Sinker. So this is the second in the series of It Happened One Summer. Absolutely loved that book. The smut level in that book, I was a big fan. So again, I am hoping for great things with this one. I have heard very good reviews about this one. It is a little bit on the chunkier side, but it is still under 400 pages, so it looks a lot bigger than it actually is, but I am really looking forward to getting round to this one. Then I have got Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, because this just came out a couple of days ago and it has been on my radar for ages. It is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, so I have to get round to this like in June. It's quite a short one as well. I've not read anything by R.F. Kuang. I do have Babel or Babel, however you say it, but I have not delved into that yet. That is kind of going to be my October sort of time. I feel like it's like dark academia, and that's when my reading kind of changes to kind of that style of books. But this one, I'm hoping for really good things. I've heard really good reviews about it. I have heard a few people, however, say that they weren't a fan, so I really hope that I'm not in their camp and that I am in loving it. I don't know a huge amount going into it. I read or saw someone talk about it in one of their videos and it just got me really excited about it, so I decided to buy it. So I definitely want to get round to this one in June just because it's so anticipated for me. Then I have got The Shining by Stephen King. This was on last month's TBR as well, but Daniel and I just never got round to reading it. So Daniel and I are actually buddy reading this one together. It looks bigger than it actually is. It's about 400 pages, but I've never read The Shining before, never seen the movie. We've been talking about Buddy reading it for ages. We were meant to do it last month, but we just didn't. So we both agreed that from the 1st of June, we are starting The Shining. Even if it is just kind of reading a couple of chapters a day, we are going to do this. I feel like I am going to really enjoy this Stephen King. I'm really funny with Stephen King. Everything that I've read by him so far, I mean, I own a lot of his books. If you haven't watched my book collection video of Stephen King, then please go check that out. But I just haven't been a fan. I just don't think some of the stories are my cup of tea, and they didn't particularly scare me. Whereas The Shining, I've heard, is very freaky, and I would like to read something that's very freaky. And I think I'd really enjoy the film as well. So we are going to get round to this in June. This is definitely happening. If I don't read anything else for the month, then that's absolutely fine. But I have to get this one read. And then I have got the third in the Magnolia Parks series. So this one is The Long Way Home Magnolia Parks. I am just a way to start this one. It is actually the 29th of May. So I'm beginning this one early because I just finished Daisy Hates yesterday. But this is a slightly chunkier one. It's about 524 pages. I'm absolutely loving this book series. I am pretty much reading them back to back. Nothing else is being read currently. I'm devouring them in just under a week, and that's maybe like 4 sittings. So I'm really enjoying them, and I'm getting through them quite quickly. The only thing I don't like about these series is I'm finding a lot of spelling mistakes and words that maybe shouldn't be there. So I feel like these should be edited a little bit better, but that is just my personal opinion. I don't find it annoying. It doesn't hugely upset me. It doesn't ruin my experience of reading the book, but I know that it would really bug other people. So yeah, just putting that out there. If you are interested in this series, obviously please look up trigger warnings and things as well. I say that every time I mention these books because I know it will not be for some people out there. But yes, I'm starting this today, the 3rd book in the series, and then I am gonna go straight on to the 4th one. So books 1 and 3 follow Magnolia Parks and kind of her life and everything that goes on, and then Daisy Hates is a side character in the 1st one, but not a huge one, and she has books 2 and 4, but they have the same kind of friend group, but they're not all fully intertwined. It's quite a fascinating friend group to get to know, and it's kind of weird because you actually start to feel like you're in that friend group, which sounds really bizarre, but I think that's because I'm reading the books back to back and I feel like I'm actually with them. So yes, this one will definitely be read as well. So the first 2 books that I can pretty much tell you that I will be reading for the month of June is The Long Way Home Magnolia Parks one and this one, because I can just tell you that is definitely going to be happening. But yes, this was a short and sweet June TBR, not TBR. What are you guys thinking of reading for June? Pop your TBRs down below. Is there any books that's coming out in June that you're really looking forward to? Also let me know down in the comments. And I will see you next time for another video. Bye bye.